Hi, so today I'm going to be telling you how to set up your Racer 250 Eachine, the wiring on that, and how to get some additional things that you may want to think about setting it up. So here we go. There's my Eachine, just got it yesterday, and it's not quite done yet, but I think the biggest problem for me was the wiring coming from the cc3d into the transmitter, which is right in there. There isn't really anything on there to tell you how to connect that, so you kind of have to figure it out. But the pins, one is the red, black, and white. The white is the servo. Then all these other pins, they just kind of go in order. So gray is next, then you've got the yellow, and so on. But they just go, red. I mean, the white's going to be number 1, and then gray 2, yellow 3, green 4, yellow 5, and the black is 6. So that's how I set mine up for my RD, I think it's an RD9 transmitter, and that's going to go to the Radiolink. I'm sorry, it's an RD6 transmitter with a Radiolink at9 controller. So that's how I did that, and I used Libre Pilot to set up everything on that. And the nice thing about Libre Pilot is when I went through on my receiver, I went ahead and did all the switches to make sure they all matched up, and one of them was an accessory switch, which was C. So this is the flight switch to change your flight different modes on that. So that's set up for 3 different flight modes, but on switch C that was actually set up as an accessory. So what I thought I would do is make the little light switch down here, which is you can turn the lights on and off using a little button. But there's a wire that came with mine, so I just plugged it into the channel that matched up to my accessory, and I used Libre Pilot to figure out which channel that was, and on mine it just turned out to be channel number 5. So I pulled out channel 5, which is that yellow one, and I plugged this one into the transmitter just in place, and I can flick the lights on and off just by doing this. So that's kind of nice if I can change colors. Another thing that I did on mine is I put it in a switch to turn the thing on and off. This is a switch you can pretty much buy anywhere on eBay or Amazon or anything, but the nice thing is you flick the switch instead of pulling it in and out, so that's kind of a nice thing to do that. So basically that was it. The very last thing I did in Libre Pilot, there's all the different parameters you can set up. I think I used the Hobby King one on this, but I've used other ones in the past, and they all do different things, but they're all a little bit different but kind of similar, so that's that. And again, the nice thing about this thing is you can change the lights. So if you see them changing just by me, because I see how they're changing on that, you can turn them off eventually. One of these turns them right off. There you go. So kind of cool to have that. We can actually change the lights, and to arm it, you turn it that way and the thing would arm, and I've already tried it and it works just fine. And then for the FPV on it, it's pretty much all set up. I just plugged it in. This thing did a search, and it found it right away as far as the search went. So this is the r6d 5802 diversity, and right away it found the signal on that. So on mine, I'm probably going to hook it up at some point, getting it on there. But again, I just got this yesterday, so I just wanted to show you how I did that. And basically, if you had to do the wiring, which is the biggest thing, is how do you do the wiring on this. So that's how you do the wiring from the cc3d to the transmitter. Another thing too is on that R6 I think it's an r6d transmitter, and that one, to bind with this, you actually have to hold the little button on the side and then plug the battery in. So if you hold the button in and then flick it on, you'll see the little red down there start blinking, and then just turn your receiver on and it'll bind by itself. So that's basically it. On this transmitter, I didn't really have to do anything to it. I did put a timer on it, so I know kind of how long I'm in the air. I think this one's set for 9 minutes, and then it gets close to 9 minutes, like 8 minutes and 30 seconds, the thing will start vibrating and beeping at me, so I know it's time to bring it in. And that's basically it. So there you go. Hope that helps somebody. And again, a couple cool things is you can flick the lights on and off doing it this way, change the colors. So that's kind of cool. And the biggest thing is if you get one of these switches, it makes things a lot easier. On, off. Nice to have that. That's it. Hope you found that useful.